Hello and welcome back to another episode of Strategic Gaming. I'm Mac Taylor, and we are here to talk about Phase 3 of Survivor the Amazon. This is an exciting phase for me to talk about because there's a lot of stuff here. There's a lot of things to discuss here in the third phase. So let's go ahead, without further ado, let's jump right in here. We start out Rob giving Matt kind of these debriefings, like these little missions to go on to keep him busy. Like he's basically keeping Matt chasing his own tail. And Matt really is perfect, the perfect goat for Rob, because Rob tells him what to do, and he goes and does it. And he's not gonna overthink things. He's not gonna talk to anybody else. He's not gonna exchange info. He's gonna be Matt, and it's great. But Matt does go and kind of do the same thing that Rob did to him to Butch. So Rob's controlling Matt, and Matt's controlling Butch. But because of that chain of command, Rob also is now controlling Butch. And he really didn't even have to do anything. And like he's laughing about it to like Alex and Dina and all them, like, oh my gosh, like Matt's so dumb. He's doing whatever I tell him to do. Like, wow, I can't believe this is working. And he's even gonna try to convince Matt to not win the immunity challenge. And Matt's like, oh, I don't know if I should do that. And he's like, oh yeah, totally. You want to make the target lower. Which is actually not a bad idea, but Matt doesn't know how much danger he is in. So we get like the bow. You have to use like a bow and arrow and like a dart gun and a spear. And the reward's going to be like a coffee bar, which don't know if like a ton of caffeine and sugar is the best thing on their diet. But hey, it's something. Anything besides, the typical manioc for the Amazon people is great. So it comes down to Alex versus Matt. Alex wins reward. Going to take Jenna with him. So, obviously he's going to be bonding with those younger women. Dina, she is really talking here about targeting Alex because Alex does have a good control over like Heidi and Jenna. Whereas, Dina's starting to lose that kind of power. And Dina views Alex as the biggest threat to her, not knowing that Rob is actually her biggest adversary. And because of, Dina's flip-flopping ideas, Rob is contemplating turning on Dina. Rob's like, well, if Dina's going to be a driving force, I need to take her out. That way I can be in charge. And I can keep my game moving in the direction I want it to move. And see, most seasons of Survivor before this, an alliance like Dina, Rob, Jenna, Heidi, and Alex would be the final five. Like, they would just roll through to the final five and, kind of let the cards fall as they would. Whereas in this one, people are thinking more of just getting to 5. They want to make their chances in the end the best. So Alex and Dina and Rob are all trying to think about who's best for them in the end game. Which is why I think this season is so special. Because this season could very easily have just been men versus women, like it tried to be. And instead it's become just, who's better for my game, which is, I think, the best kind of Survivor you can have. So Alex and Jenna, they bring cookies back from their coffee shop date. And, Heidi hears from the chain of command about Dina wanting to take out Alex. She tells Alex and Dina, Alex and Jenna, hey, Dina is coming for you, Alex. Rob was even in on that plan. So Alex goes straight to Rob, and he's upset. And Rob's like, well, I definitely got to make a decision here. You got two sides pissed at each other. I got to go to one. And we also get this little thing where Heidi gets bit by a spider, and it looks really bad. Like, the bite looks really bad. But But Rob is kind of in a bit of a pickle because do you go with Alex and the girls or do you go with Dina and the girls essentially? Like who's less dangerous moving forward? And I really think there is no great answer to that question. So they have the gross eating immunity. And Matt, like a complete champion, is swallowing things that are still alive. He's not even chewing them. So Alex wins immunity. And the whole Dina versus Alex thing isn't going to wait until the final 7. It's going to wait no longer. It's going to happen. Who's going to take out who? See, it could be very boring. They could have went for Christy or Butch. But no, it's Matt or one of us. Rob basically is going to be the swing vote here, going to really decide who bites the bullet. Because, he has Matt and Butch, and, Rob's got a lot of armies. By a vote of 6-2, Dina blindsided. So we had Roger blindsided, and now Dina blindsided. And Alex thinks, well, okay, let me eulogize Dina before I move forward here. I think she was a fantastic player, and I'm sad that someone like Jenna Lewis got an all-star spot instead of Dina Bennett, because I think Dina is so smart. She's a natural leader, and she really does fall in that role. But unlike maybe some other people who fall into that leader position in the future, Dina is a strategist. Like, she really is good at this game. And I really would have liked to have seen her. I mean, All-Stars Rob's on it, but I really would have liked to seen maybe like a Rob Sesternino-less Dina game and see what that looks like. Because I think she has the tools to really go far. So Alex at this point, he's like, yeah, it's me, Rob, Jenna, and Heidi. Final 4. And so, they're kind of lounging a little bit, and Christy's pissed off. She's like, everybody's so lazy. I'm so tired of being on this tribe, it doesn't work. Kind of like what she was on the women's tribe. Christy does get a little pissy a lot. But, she really has been on the outside looking in on pretty much since the second she arrived at Survivor Amazon. I don't think she ever really had an alliance. The only person that was really willing to work with her was Jeanne, and she was gone pretty early. So Christy is probably just really frustrated at how things are shaking out and just really wants to get this game over with. So we get the Survivor auction and the actual good Survivor auction, not the team one from Thailand. And some of the things I try to keep track of who gets what. Like Heidi got some cheesecake. Alex ended up getting a mystery thing, which turned out to be Maniac. So that was funny. Matt got a burger. Jenna got more chocolate. Butch got a breakfast thing. Rob got a protein bar. Alex got some steak, making up for that maniac he got. Christy and Jenna then got letters from home. Jenna, whose mother at the time has cancer, really needed that letter. If I was on this season, I would have done anything to get Jenna her letter, because I've been in that position, not on Survivor while someone has cancer, but a parent who has cancer. And, anything, I imagine that was the biggest thing she could have got. So I'm glad she did get that. Matt and Butch, at this point, they're trying to get, Christy and Rob. Butch not knowing that Matt and Rob are working together. And Alex tells Rob that, hey, and this is the biggest mistake Alex will make. He tells Rob, hey, at the Final 4, when it comes down to me, you, Heidi, and Jenna, the way I see it, I win immunity, we're going to vote you out. You win immunity, you guys are going to vote me out. It's basically who's going to take the girls to the Final 3. I get it. It's totally cool. I just want one of us to win the game. And Rob's like, no. No, I mean, obviously, Rob to Alex is like, yeah, that sounds good. Totally. I totally get it. But in his confessional, I was like, no, I did not come here to be like, okay, I'm okay with fourth place or I'm okay with third place. No, I came here to win. And if you're telling me that if I would go to the Final Four, that if I don't win immunity, that I'm gone, guaranteed, then no, I'm not going there with you. I'm going to figure out how to take you out of this game. So we get a Q&A, kind of booklets. And then Rob really does throw a Hail Mary here. He goes up to Matt and kind of tells him like, hey, I was lying to you about working with you before. But now I totally am. I'm going to tell you the truth. And like, I do respect you in this game and everything. And Matt's like, I really do appreciate you telling me the truth. And I totally understand why you had to lie to me before. And yeah, whatever you need, man, I'm going to work with you. Like, you taught me how to play this game, and I'm very appreciative. Like, Matt just falls into plan. Like, Rob couldn't have had this go any better. So they have, and also they're kind of going up to a mix of people, trying to, the Butches, trying to get this blind side in full swing. And they get a Q&A immunity, and Rob Cesternino wins immunity. And Alex is like, all right, there we go. So we're going after Matt, right? And Rob's like, probably going to go after to Alex. He's like, yeah, totally Matt. And his confessional is like, I'm thinking about flipping this tribe here. So by a vote of 4-3, Alex blindsided. So you see, this is why I love Rob Cesternino's game. Because he could have just went with the guys' alliance. No, he flips on Roger with Alex and Dina, takes control of the game. Then Dina starts getting too powerful. He flops on Dina. So he's flipped and now flopped. Then he sees that Alex is now getting too powerful, and he flips after the flip-flop to get Alex out and now be in complete control of the game. The girls aren't going to be happy about it, but he's really, anyone who's like rearing their head as a leader, he is cutting it off immediately. It's unprecedented here at season 6. Like in the past 5 seasons, nobody has been that aware of power structure. Even Brian Heidick. There was potential for people like Helen and Ted to overthrow him. They didn't because they weren't smart enough, I don't think. Rob Cesternino is a strategist, and he genuinely understood who needed to be cut and when they needed to be cut. Because even early on, if you look at the Ryan versus Roger dynamic, there was a good possibility if Alex and Rob didn't go with Roger, that Roger goes home first and Ryan and Daniel have a run in this game. So, he really was like wherever Rob went, the votes went. And that is, I think, absolutely insane. And eulogizing Alex, I think he was a good player. Again, really someone I'm sad. I understand why he didn't get All-Stars. But I am sad he never played again. Because he was very athletic. He was very sociable. And, him and Rob were together strategizing in the men's tribe. And then he went and got the women and kind of got a little too comfortable once he knew he had Heidi and Jenna on his side. But he's even talked about after the season that he probably, even if the Final Four was him, Heidi, Jenna, and Rob, he might have tried to take Rob to the Final 2. Like, he really did like Rob. And I think he was a little bitter after the vote because he felt like Rob was a close friend of his and maybe even like a brother. And Rob stabbed him right in the back. But But I think that he really did plan on going really far with Rob. He really thought him and Rob were riding and dying, not knowing that Rob, was really playing the shit out of this game. But again, I think Alex played a good game. Now, him saying at Final Four, I take you out, you take me out, I get it. That's kind of like what you would say to another kind of bro-y jock guys, like maybe like Ryan or Dave, and they'd be like, yeah, totally makes sense. But Rob, no, you don't tell that to a player like Rob, because then that just makes him want to shake the game up. Because that's the thing, people have just said things to Rob that made him want to shake the game up. I think there was probably a couple of times where he just kind of rides it out, but he never gets to truly just comfortably ride. He's just being like, oh, I don't like how that sounded, so I'm just going to flip. And it really is an awesome, Amazon is very entertaining season of just like, who's going to go next? Because everyone who I think is good is not good. So then after that, Heidi and Jenna, they're pissed. And I totally get why they're pissed. Because Rob lied to them. Rob stabbed him in the back. But Heidi is a little more like, hey, she's salty, but she's like, hey, you played the game, and, you're playing it well. You're doing a good job. Like, I respect your game. I wouldn't play it that way, but I respect it. Whereas Jenna is just like, you're a terrible person, and how dare you, and I would never have done that to you, and you have betrayed me. And Rob's like, yeah, I did. And if you don't like that, if you're upset with that, tonight or later at Tribal Council, feel free to write down Rob Sesternino. Like, if he's very just like, whatever, you want to be mad at me, I'm playing Survivor. Mad respect for that conversation. But again, I do understand where they're coming from. I wouldn't do this the same way, but I understand that they're upset. So Heidi takes this opportunity. She wants to reel in Christy. She's like, hey, let's go for some girl power here. We can at least tie the vote. And Christy immediately just goes to Rob, like, hey, Heidi just tried to reel me in. You should be on the lookout for that. So Rob is now really looking at Heidi as a target. So we get a puzzle-solving reward, and it is a loved one's visit. So Matt wins the reward and is willing to give it up so that everyone on the tribe can get their loved ones. But he's going to get it anyway. Rob's Jeff a little nice this season. So Matt's going to get like an evening with his mother, and that's awesome for him. And like Rob gets to see his mom. Jenna has her dad. Heidi, I don't know, his brother, I think, comes. A lot of young people, so there's no like real spouses. Christy has her boyfriend. Butch has his wife. Yeah, Butch is the oldest guy. Like everybody else is like in their 20s. And then Butch. and Rob, there's a funny moment where Rob tells his mom, hey, I've been bad. I've been a really bad guy. And she's like, good. That's what you told me you were going to do. And Rob, he's really reconsidering his path to the end. He's trying to figure out who needs to go to Final Two. And he does offer Jenna, he's like, hey, me and you can be the Final Two in this game. And she immediately runs to the tribe like, hey, Matt, Butch, if you're so in with Rob, why did he just offer me a Final Two? And Rob doesn't, freak out. He immediately is like, no, you were I never said Final Two. You were saying Final Two in there. And Butch and Matt are like, yeah, Jenna, why would you try to spin this on Rob? Well, how dare you? And Jenna's like, no, I didn't. He said he was the one who told me to be a Final Two, and are you guys just going to let him win? And Rob's like, I never said that, Jenna. I understand you're upset that I turned on you, but I would never turn on these people. And Matt's like, yeah, he would never turn on me. And Jenna's like, I can't believe you guys. It's awesome. It is an awesome way that Rob's able to spin this. Very similar to John Carroll being able to undo what Boston Rob is doing in more cases. So, and all day long, it's just Jenna and Rob mostly Jenna, bickering at Rob. And Rob, he's confident about how this is going to go. And they have the shuffleboard immunity. Comes down to Rob and Jenna. Jenna going to win immunity. And Rob really wanted to take her out there. But he's worried. And Christy talks about, I don't know if I'm going to vote which way. I think I'm a swing vote. I know it's you and, I like to be the swing. I think my decision's big. And Rob's like, swing? You're supposed to be with me. If you think you want to be a swing vote and want to just do whatever you want to, I'm going to go up to Heidi and I'm going to talk about getting you out. So Jenna then gives her immunity to Heidi, thinking Heidi's in danger, which this could have turned out terribly. Like, if you look at this in retrospective, this could have ended badly. Like, Jenna could have. And honestly, I do think this is the first big mistake by Rob Cesternino in the Amazon. The first mistake, really. I mean, I guess, being so hard-targeted at Dave could have ended badly, but it didn't. But this would have been a good spot. I would have been like, Jenna's gone. Because Jenna is a threat. She's with Heidi. They're a pair. And in Survivor, you never want to have pairs, like guaranteed pairs, this close to the end. And she gave up her immunity, and how sweet it would be after all that all day to turn around and vote her out. Christy may think she's a flip and she's a powerful player, but she's not. And she probably won't win anything. So you take out Jenna here, take out Heidi next, and you take out Christy at 4, Butch at 3, take Matt to the end, and win. If you're Rob. But Rob really got that flipper stuff in his head. Decides to, he's going to ignore the fact that Jenna just gave up her immunity. And by a vote of 4-2, Christy is voted out. And again, mistake. But, and she gives this confessional at the end about how Heidi and Jen are never going to win this game. Oh, I can't believe that they beat me, these evil stepsisters of mine. Like, she is just rolling in anger. But, nevertheless, Christy probably wasn't the one to go here. Rob, I don't know, he just really didn't like what she was saying. But, I would have personally taken out Jenna here. But final words on Christy, like I said, she had no leeway the whole game. Like, she was by herself from the start. And, you can only ride that game for so long, usually. Some strong players have been able to ride that to the end. But Christy was never going to go to the final 2 unless someone took her there, which no one was interested in doing because she is deaf. And that is a huge thing for the jury to consider, especially in early Survivor. But, on that same accord, she's a deaf woman who went on a social game and made the top 6. And I think that is a huge accomplishment. And I in no way am downing Christy or taking anything away from her because that is amazing that she did that. And also, I really did like Christy on the show. I did. I liked her on the show. I've never had the chance to meet her in real life, but I would love to. She seems like a great person. It's just she's not the best strategy player of Survivor. And that's okay. She really did. She's a memorable person. So I just wanted to say that. I know I have not been the most pro-Christy person on this podcast, but I really do genuinely enjoy her on the show. And just to think that someone who cannot hear went into a sociable game and managed to make it that far is amazing. So with that, I digress. So we start the next episode. Rob, he's glad to have, he used the Christie vote to kind of smooth things over with Heidi and Jenna. And everyone now is open about their end games. And Butch is just getting all sorts of firewood. There's firewood all over the damn camp. They're sleeping on top of firewood. Which I guess they're always sleeping on top of firewood, essentially. And we get the past challenge relay reward for the car curse. Matt will win the car curse and take Rob with him on the journey. And they're going to get burgers and all sorts of things put on a grill. And while they're gone, all of Butch's firewood catches on fire and the camp is burnt down. No bueno. Matt, even without the fire happening, he feels like he's in a good spot. He feels like he's going to make it to the end because all the other sides are very upset with each other. And so everyone gets to rebuilding the camp except for Jenna and Heidi. They don't want any part of it. They're like, we're on the bottom, so we don't have to do this, which is a little much, a little dramatic, I think. I really wasn't a fan of that. See, I have a love-hate relationship with Heidi and a little bit of Jenna. I do like Jenna. There's a little bit too much drama with them sometimes. So they get the like the Survivor Ghost Project kind of challenge with feathers this time. Matt wins. Jenna not feeling too great. And Heidi, at this point, even campaigning. Like, hey, I'll vote out Jenna. I'll take out Jenna. Whatever gets me further. It's like, whoa. Okay, Heidi, damn. That doesn't... She should have learned... Oh, I guess they didn't see that part of the season. But, Pitts, it's like Penny and Jake. Work together, not separately. By a vote of 3-2, Heidi is voted out of the game. The last person to be voted out in Phase 3. The final 4. She just so close. Didn't make it. Final thoughts on Heidi. At times, she did annoy me with her I'm better than you attitude. But I did think she was a good Survivor player. Sucked at competitions. But overall, she was a really good social player. Especially in a tribe of a few younger women. She definitely clicked well. So, I definitely understand why Heidi never played again, but I did think she was definitely a good fit for this season. And with that ends Phase 3 of Survivor the Amazon. Stay tuned for Phase 4. Talk about the final 4 of the Amazon. Rob Cesternino, Matt, Butch, and Jenna. 3 men, 1 woman. What will happen? See you next time. I'm Mac Taylor.